My buddy. Now, hold it. Now, what's your name?
Dave Coulson.
I'm Darryl Choronzey. I'm with Dave Coulson. What's your position, Dave?
Advertising manager for Napoleon.
Oh, Napoleon. Napoleon what?
Napoleon Barbecues.
Okay, that's the last push you're gonna get. Listen, I'm with Dave Coulson, Napoleon Barbecues. We're on a small lake in Ontario, and we're gonna get a lot of smallmouth like this.
I'm hoping.
I'm gonna let him go, Dave.
I'm going fishing all the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the right bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Yamaha. Reliability with every turn of the key. G3 Boats, a Yamaha boat company. Abu Garcia, for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. And by Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix. Closed captioning for Going Fishing is brought to you by Skeet Soap. If you and your family are concerned about DEET, use Skeet. Autumn has arrived, and Southern Ontario's countryside has begun to take on her vibrant fall colors. It's also Choronzey's favorite time of the year to hook up the G3 John boat and go chasing the spunky smallmouth bass. Pound for pound, here's a species that has no equal, and that's especially true in the months of September and October, when this pugnacious big brother of the sunfish family is packing on the pounds to see it through the winter ahead. Now, depending on lake structure and weather conditions, smallmouth bass can often be found just about anywhere and everywhere in thousands of lakes from Ontario east to Nova Scotia. The smallmouth is now entrenched in the province of British Columbia as well. Stay with us as Choronzey and Napoleon Barbecues' David Coulson go spinner fishing for the spunkiest little fish of them all, the smallmouth bass.
Well, that's a nice fish.
Yeah, but
Is he getting around that
I
log?
don't want him getting me where he's gonna take me. Nice fish, nice fish. Dave.
Beautiful.
Look at this. I'm just gonna worry about the log later, Dave. You know what? I just tossed that
Wow.
up against that branch there.
Whoa, look at the size of that.
Good smallmouth, eh? Real nice smallmouth.
I'm gonna start using your rod.
I just have to pick one up with a MEPS on. What can I say? I'm not gonna worry about these trees right now, Dave. Now,
Don't worry about that fish.
that's what some of these Ontario lakes have got. Boy, have they got nice smallmouths. Hey, look at this. I'm gonna bump into this tree, but I'm not that worried.
Wow.
Nice smallmouth. Is that a nice smallmouth
Look
or
at the
what,
size
Dave?
of that.
Eh? Is that a dandy? Open up, mister. Oh.
Whoa.
Now, is that a honey of a smallmouth?
No, that's a fish.
Now, tell me MEP spinners don't catch bass. Look at that. Nice fish, eh, Dave?
Beautiful.
Hey?
Good size.
Early autumn, Ontario smallmouth bass. Is that a dandy?
Lovely.
I'm gonna let him go.
Well, let me know where so I can get him.
He's gone back down into the trees. Mr. Coulson.
Well, there's another one on.
Mr. Coulson.
I think I'm liking this little lake. Whoa.
Now
There we
listen,
go.
there's no fire line there. You're playing with mono, so watch that fish. Nice. Heavy, eh?
Yep. Yep. Good fight. Whoa, there he goes.
You're gonna lean over and you're gonna put the lower jaw grab on him too.
Yep.
Nice fish,
Yep.
Dave. Dandy fish. I'll tell you what, this lake and a lot of lakes like this are jammed full of hungry fish this time of the year.
Well, you know how I caught this one? I stole my rod back.
You can use that excuse, buddy. Okay, just be careful with him. Nice fish, eh? Don't get a handful of trebles there. Yeah. There you go, you got him. Are they nice or what, eh?
Beautiful. Love the fight.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get us away from these trees. You know when you come in, is that a dandy or is that a dandy?
Nice little fish.
Autumn smallmouth, you know?
Beautiful.
You know, when you get into these situations in the fall, especially the small lakes, now this lake the bass are pretty well everywhere. It's only 12 feet deep out here. You know, so you'll get the bass in here on the rocks, and you'll also get them out on the mud flats. But fish the shoreline first. That's what I'm always saying. Early part of the season when the water's cold, or when the water cools off in the autumn, fish the shorelines and then work your way out.
Oh, beautiful fish.
Is this nice?
I should another follow right there.
I'm gonna get us around this little houseboat here.
And now for the Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix Campfire Comment.
Now, Dave Coulson, can I ask you one question?
Certainly.
Why are we sitting here around doing a campfire comments? It's 75 degrees out. We've been on a bass lake all day, and I got a fire pit in front of me that's lit.
I'm not sure.
You having a lot of fun?
Excellent. Great day.
You know, we don't get out very often, right? But days like today, that's what you call paradise.
It was absolutely perfect.
Okay, ask me the
great
question.
day.
Come on, you want to ask.
I know. It's been going on for a while. Have you got a thing about bureaucrats and biologists with the government?
If I got a thing against bureaucrats and biologists, only the stupid ones. And I'm starting to feel like a lot of them are stupid. Listen, we've got a pretty damn good fishery on the west side of Vancouver Island. This year, what year are we in right now? 2009? It was probably some of the best salmon fishing we've seen on the west coast of Vancouver Island. But there's a woman out there, and she's a biologist, right? And she's a very, very smart biologist. And she's been telling people, look, and I believe her, I haven't got the proof, but she's been saying, look, we've got these fish farms on the inside passage, you know, from Vancouver up to, say, Port Hardy, but in the inside. And she said the fish farms have got, first off, they got Atlantic salmon in them instead of Pacific salmon. Some biologists and bureaucrats, they got holes in their heads for putting Atlantics there. But she said, look, you've got these fish farms and you feed these fish. And you give them chemicals, you know, to stop them having diseases and all this. But she says, all these salmon, hundreds of thousands of adult Atlantic salmon or feeder Atlantic salmon, they've got to go to the bathroom. So they have a dump and it goes through their fish farms, you know, into the ocean. I'm all for fish farms, but don't put them in the ocean, because when they have their little dumps every day, that stuff goes through the pens into the bottom of the ocean. And what happens is we've got sea lice. And this Alexandra Morton, who I think, I'll call her Alex, is one of the smartest women I've ever met, one of the smartest bios I've ever met. She's warned the government by saying, look, all this garbage and all this effluent or whatever these fish are dropping below the pens is multiplying sea lice like there's no tomorrow. And you get little sockeye and you get little chum salmon and you get pink salmon, and they swim either under the nets going north, like they're heading towards Alaska, or around the nets. And she says instead of sea lice like we used to have, the sea lice population has gone crazy because of the pens. And she did all these studies and said, look, these little sockeye usually don't have any sea lice on them, and they're only that big. Now all of a sudden they got 5, 6, maybe 15 sea lice on them. She says they're not going to survive. And she warned the government about this years ago. Well, what happened this year? Almost the entire Fraser River sockeye run did not come home. And I'm watching, you know, and reading what this woman's saying, and everything she's saying to me is sinking in, right? We had a strain called the Harrison Creek. They go out, but instead of going up the passage, they go around Vancouver Island, up the west side to Alaska, come back. Their runs were probably double. The inside passage run, which makes up about 80% of the entire Fraser River sockeye run, didn't come home. You wonder why I get a little peed off? I got a better word than peed off. It's some biologists and bureaucrats. Now listen, for starters, we are about to lose the biggest run of sockeye in the world. If they would listen to Alexandra Morton, I'm going to call her Alex, we wouldn't be in this predicament. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe what she's telling me, right? And also, you biologists and you bureaucrats in Ontario, get another brain. You don't stock salmon, and you don't stock steelhead or rainbow trout off breakwalls. And you wonder why I get mad about bureaucrats and biologists? I'm gonna have a heart attack. Don't ask me any more questions.
I'm not, I'm done.
Going Fishing returns with more smallmouth action.
I'm with a good friend of mine, Darren Boast. Give me a little story on what you got in your hand.
Well, basically what it is, it's a soap that you wash with that repels mosquitoes with no DEET in it. This soap is awesome. I've used it in all different applications. Especially it's great for kids and people who are outdoors. You just wash with it, rub it right on your skin, and that's it.
So it's got no DEET in it at all. That's the main, you know, push for this stuff.
That's the main thing, and a lot of people are concerned about it, especially, you know, these days, environmental issues, you know, aerosol cans eating the ozone, garbage being thrown into landfill. It's just a bar of soap. You rub it, let the film dry on your skin, and that's it.
Guaranteed no mosquito bites?
No, well, I can't guarantee everything, but I'll guarantee a couple of bites, but that's the least minimum and actually poison yourself with DEET.
It's a soap. There's no aerosol can. There's no oily
Plastic.
feeling. There's no plastic to throw away.
That's it. You can rub it right on your skin dry and let the film dry on you. You can be if you're hiking, fishing, boating, camping, anything outdoors. Just bring the soap with you. You have it. Rub it right on your skin and wash with it, or even on your clothes. It's soap. It washes out.
And you got that phrase, remember, there's no DEET.
If you're-
Skeet.
You got it. You like deep, you ski.
Mr. Coulson, I want to get this boat up away from here. You know what? I just made a cast, Dave, up along these weeds, you know? Now, right now, I've got 3 bass following the bass I've got on. Do you believe that? Whoa, look at the size of that fish. There he is, look at it. Oh boy, are these strong fish, Dave. Big, strong smallmouth bass. Dave, I'm watching this fish, right?
Yeah.
When he hit that lure, he come out of the water, and there he is, and he had 3 with him. Big fish. I'll tell you what, Dave. I'm just gonna let us run aground here as we get into these weeds. Dave, I'm watching this fish, and honestly, there was 3 more with him. I don't want to lose this guy.
Following it up.
Yeah. What makes a perfect smallmouth lake? Well, smallmouth like this for starters. I'll tell you what, Dave. Nice fish, eh?
Beautiful.
Just let him go. Let him swim away. Look around, Dave. I mean, this is, in my opinion, this is a perfect smallmouth lake. Like, my lake's more conductive or more conducive to largemouth bass. What you've got here is you've got a lot of rock in the water. Smallmouth love that. You know, they can get in here. The little guys can hide. There's the gravel beds for the spawning, right? You've got the weeds in here if you want it. But it's a deep lake, too. It's cold, like it's 20 feet in the middle in places. There's place for the adults in the summer. It's got an ideal 4-H base. It's got a lot of rock bass in here. But what makes a perfect smallmouth lake? Everything you see here. The rocks, the water, and the forest. We can get out of the wind. Now you want me to get us out of the weeds, right?
Out of the weeds and into the fish.
It's pretty.
You know, it's hard for Choronzey to believe sometimes he's been associated with one Canadian tackle company for almost 40 years. The name of the company is Brex. It was founded way back in 1947 by George Breckenridge, who marketed flies and spoons that he made in his house. The Brex name quickly grew, and so did its line of fine tackle. Today, George's son Dave is at the helm, and the company continues to grow, but in turn is still true to its Canadian roots. Since 1950, Brex has been the Canadian home of the famed Mepps spinner line. Those unique Mepps blades may all be made in France, but every blade is painted and assembled at Brex Sherbrooke, Quebec assembly plant. How many Mepps spinners have gone through the shipping doors at Brex? Let's just say millions and millions. There is a Mepps designed to catch any fish that swims in Canada. In 1989, Dave Breckenridge had the urge to expand, and his next acquisition was the purchase of the world-famous Williams lure line. Was it just a coincidence that Williams was another Canadian original? Today, every Williams spoon is stamped out, plated, hook-attached, and packaged in Sherbrooke. Oh, and by the way, all the Williams spoons carry genuine silver and 24-karat gold finishes. Ask Dave Breckenridge how many Williams have been sold over the years, and you get that same familiar line. Millions and millions. Then in 1983, Moose Look, another classic trout and salmon lure popular with northeastern United States and Canadian anglers, was purchased by Brex. The company is also the Canadian distribution home for Maxima monofilament line and Mr. Twister as well. For a business that started out small in a family's household 62 years ago, it has grown to be recognized as a major name with North American anglers everywhere and a famed Canadian name at that.
Mr. Coulson. Did you see that guy
Look at
jump?
this. That was incredible.
I can't believe it. Now listen, you better not have had a GPS on him in this lake, because this is my little honey hole.
Well, you blindfolded me coming in.
Well, I always take people the same way into this lake. Come on, Mr. Bass. Get up here. Oh, my. I just love this lake, Dave, I'll tell you. And I'm going to say it one more time. I love smallmouth bass, especially in late September and early October.
Well, one on.
You got one too?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to pull this guy out. You get yours in. Fishing behind the back of the boat, eh, buddy?
Yeah. Whoa. Well, you were hogging the front, so I had to get to the back. Nice fish.
Dandy! Listen, you want me to let this guy down with him? I'll let him down the other side of the boat. Little piece of paradise, eh, Dave?
Oh, incredible. No, I've never caught fish like this before. Besides that one time in the aquarium.
Yeah. No. This is God's country.
There we
You know what? I got to say, hell, all of Canada is God's country. You're not going to find fishing anywhere in the world as nice as Canada's.
That rivals this.
Here come your geese. I guess you wish you had your shotgun right now, too.
Oh, I haven't been out yet this year, and I should have brought it.
Nice fish.
And now for the Walker Deeper Diver Tip of the Week, taking your lures down and away. A properly sized spinner like the Meps can be the most popular lure in your tackle box. Inexpensive and simple to use, these spinners are trophy catchers, whether your quarry is as small as a bluegill or as large as a trophy muskie.
Dave Coulson, I've got one thing to say to you. What do you think of fishing smallmouth bass in the autumn?
Fantastic.
You know,
Never seen better.
It's 1:45. I met you at 6:30 at Tim Hortons, right? I don't want to talk product. I mean, you don't talk product on this show. What's your position at Napoleon?
Advertising manager.
Okay, and if they want to go on a website, what's your website?
NapoleonGrills.com.
Napoleon what?
Grills.
.com. So it's NapoleonGrills.com.
.com.
I'm not supposed to talk product, okay. What do you think of my John boat?
Unbelievable. I thought at first I was going to need my life jacket and survival suit, and you walk around it like it's in your living room.
You know, and we've got life jackets on the boat, let's be honest. Listen, I've done something with G3. I said, look, we need a camouflage John boat up here, and I'm not being smart. You go to the southern United States and everybody's got a John boat. Nothing beats a John boat on small lakes and mid-sized lakes. I use them on my pond here. We used it on a small lake today. I use it in Georgian Bay in the shallow waters, right, protected waters. The Kawarthas, Muskokas, anywhere across Canada, John boats are the thing.
It's incredible.
And I won't say that's a G3 John boat one more time. Hold my rod, will you, for a sec? I don't go anywhere in Canada without this box in the back of my truck. I go with this box, and it's loaded with just about every Mep spinner, you know, you can possibly use.
Well, work today.
You know, well, you saw what it does on smallmouth bass, right? Listen, spinners work on just about not just about, every species that's out there, every sport species. I run a 0, and I run a 1, and I run a 2 for brook trout, right? Today we ran number 3 Meps. You can get them with skirts, you can get them, you know, painted up in different colors. Carry spinners with you. They're inexpensive, and they catch a lot of fish. What company did you work for again?
Napoleon.
Napoleon. I'm not asking for a free grill, but mine's getting a little dirty.
Is it? Try cleaning it.
Let's go to shore lunch.
All
How's
right.
that? And guess whose grills we're going to use?
Going Fishing returns with the Napoleon Barbecue's Shore Lunch.
Listen, today's shore lunch is really simple. As a matter of fact, I stole it from a cookbook called Cooking for Dummies or Cooking Seafood for Dummies. I don't know which. Listen, the main thing to remember right off the bat, use a barbecue that's quality. We're all from Canada. Get a Canadian-made barbecue. That's why I only cook with Napoleon. Do I kiss butt with my sponsors? Talking about kissing butt, get in here, Dave.
Darryl?
What's your position again?
Advertising manager.
For who?
Napoleon.
Did you like it today?
Unbelievable. Best I've ever had.
You said to me, what's for shore lunch? Okay. Well, here's what's for shore lunch. And pay attention to this because it's so simple, it's not funny. It's called the poor man's lobster. Now, you can use it with sheephead. You can use it with perch. You can use it with walleye. You can even use it for halibut. And that's what we're going to put in here today. It's the simplest recipe in the world. What I've got, Dave, this is your side grill.
Mm-hmm. Side burner.
What's the name of this barbecue?
That's a P5 600.
P5 600. It's got a special name too. Is it an Elite or something like that?
Prestige.
Prestige, so if that tells you something. Okay, you're going to the side burner. You've got boiling water. Now, what you use here is 1 teaspoon of white sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt, just regular table salt for each quart of water. I've got a 2-quart container here. What I'm gonna do is take the lid off, and that water is boiling. I've got some halibut chunks, but again, you can use sheephead or anything you want. There's 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar. The water's boiling. I'm gonna pour it in. And again, it's 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt for every quart of water. I've got 2 quarts going right now. It's boiling, and I'm gonna just put these chunks in. Now, this is why it's called Cooking for Dummies and the Poor Man's Lobster. I've got 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and all you do is leave them in the boiling water until they float to the top. I'm gonna put the lid back on, and again, it's ready when the fish chunks float to the surface. After you take out the chunks, very simple. Put them on a plate and dip them in liquid butter and enjoy Poor Man's Lobster.
Perfect.
Dave Coulson.
Darryl Choronzey.
Did you have a great day?
Awesome.
Lots of fish?
Tons.
We're about to enjoy Poor Man Lobster. Can I ask you one thing? And I never really do this.
What's that?
I'm not a mooch.
Tell me.
Can I have another barbecue?
All right.
Put her there, buddy.
Good. Great day.
Now listen, if you get the chance, remember, never pass up the opportunity anywhere in Canada to fish small lakes, whether it's for bass, rainbow trout, and try
this.
Poor Man's Lobster. And I already know how good it is. We'll see you next week, and enjoy your fishing.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey has been brought to you in part by Yamaha. Reliability with every turn of the key. G3 Boats, a Yamaha boat company. Abu Garcia, for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. And by Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fishermen's Breading and Batter Mix. Going Fishing would like to thank the following fine sponsors.
Going fishing.